I've been doing Intwasa Pfumvudza for many years now, and it started because of a passion to go out to the community and help people. And the question was, how do you help people at household level throughout the country at the community base? And the first thing we had to do was to go and find out why the yields are so low in the communities. So we went from here to Matoko. When I say from here, we Mrewa down to Matoko, and we took soil samples, and the soils came back on an acidity of 3.2 to 3.4 on an average throughout the communities. So the first thing we had to do was do line, which was the most important thing to do. So from there it was, how could we actually now make a program that could feed a family? So like I said in the beginning, this is about a passion and a vision. It's not just about me, it's about doing something for people that have got land, they possibly have some water, and what is the best way to utilize it. And we came into the way we decided that we'd call the program Intwasa Pfumvudza, which includes the Ndebele's and the Shona, and the word means the same thing. When the leaves fall off the trees, your land should be ready for the rains. So at the end of the day, the message really is about having your lands ready early on time. So from there we got the lime, we put it into the pack, we got a fertilizer, and I came into the communities and to understand how they used to feed their families. How did your granddads and their grandfathers farm, and what did they do to get their maize? So they would have a dura, and I came into the communities, I sat down with the people, and they would take a bucket of maize shallot and take it to the mill, and that was enough to feed the family for a week. So one bucket of maize could feed the family for a week on average. So then we designed a piece of land that will take 56 plants in one line, which will fill a bucket of maize, which they could go and get milled. That came from the grandparents, you guys. That's where this came from. And then we did 52 lines for 52 weeks of the year. And then you have fed the nation on a household level. And then if they can feed their family, why can't they make a profit? It's all about doing things on time at the right standard. And behind me here, this guy that I've been with, Francis, we've been doing this for 11 years, and he hasn't bought maize in 11 years. Not even this year in the drought has he bought maize. But this land, we've been preparing it, getting the stover right, planting some sun hemp in here, and with a little bit of water from his borehole, and he's been able to water this little bit of land when it needs water at the critical times, and he's been able to feed his family for the last 11 years. The vision was about once the family has been able to feed themselves, okay, what's the next stage? How do you improve his life? Because he has to live, he has to have money to be able to send his kids to school, to be able to buy clothes, to be able to take his kids to the hospital or his family, and to improve their lives. So this was stage one, was feed your family. Because if a man's hungry, how can he do any work? So feed your family, then how do you make a profit? Then we wanted to go to 4 plots per person, and 3 were to be marketed, and 1 was to support the family. Then once we got the community together, would be to put a grinding mill into the areas, and they would grind their own maize, and the maize would go from the community into Harare, and then they would have a partnership in the mill, and some meal would be left for the community, and the profit would be shared into the communities. That's how the program was meant to work. And then we could go to groundnuts, all sorts of programs, from where we've got the central the hub to be able to manufacture stuff, and that could grow into whatever next we wanted to do in the community. We came here in 2015, and we put a program into the school to do maize for the school. So the program was to do say maybe 2 Intwasa Pfumvudza, or how many ever they could manage according to the amount of children could bring water to school. So we got the grade 7s on the first year to bring 2 liters of water, and they were we did one plot of Intwasa Pfumvudza maize, and they were to bring 2 liters of water to school every day to water their maize. So they've been doing it ever since then, and this is the maize that they reaped this last year. You can see the size of the stalks. It looks quite good. So they actually have been very successful. To get the project going properly, we bought Intwasa Pfumvudza packs out here, which had lime, which is absolutely critical for the soils, and had the seed in there. It was ZAP 63 seed that we had put in here, fertilizer, and we did 2 plots of Intwasa Pfumvudza on the first year, and that became the marking point for what could be achieved at the school. And I haven't been back since then, but they've taken up the initiative, and they've been doing it themselves, and they've been very successful at it.
One of the reasons why we